Anyway, now we are talking about Dr. Bharucha, who was from Navsari, a place in Gujarat, and he had ordered for a scooter, for a motorbike, not motorbike, but a scooter, and the delivery was to be taken from Surat. Surat is another city, and it is about must have been about 50 kilometers from Navsari. So he had gone to Surat for taking the delivery with that vehicle. And before taking the final delivery, he wanted some additional accessories. And the work of going on, work of adding these accessories was going on. The mechanics were doing that work. It was a shed. It was sort of a small shed for workshop in the by the side of the road near a building. It was more or less a shade under which the accessories were getting fixed. And Bharucha was standing under tin shade, and the work was going on. He was standing there watching the work. He was a little bit away from that place of work, but then therefrom he was talking with some people and was watching. And all of a sudden, what happened is that people shouted, "Come, get away from that shade because that roof is collapsing." And some people have dragged Dr. Bharucha from that mishap, because the whole roof of that shed, it fell down. Not the portion where the workers were working, but the shade where under which Bharucha was standing. And in his heart of hearts, Bharucha thanked Baba. And after the work was over, he took the delivery vehicle and started driving towards his native place, that is Navsari. He was driving, and on the way there was a truck carrying big loads of sacks of food grains. Very big sacks of food grains. They were arranged on the top of that truck, and it was tied also. And Barichwa was driving himself. When he was overtaking that truck, one of the sack, big sack having food grains, it slipped up from that from that ropes and fell down on one side. So the side where Bharucha was driving. And imagine the Bharucha had just went ahead, and that just behind him, the whole very big, very heavy, that bike fell down. And this was the second time when Bharucha was narrowly escaped from a big mishap. And then she again thanked Baba and proceeded further. When he reached the outskirts of his city, Navsari, what he found there, he was not keeping a balance of his handle. And what he found, that the front wheel was getting flat. And he stopped there just to check up and went to a nearby shop. Unfortunately, there was some shop where the punctures could be removed. Punctures in the tube, that they could be removed. And when the person who was doing this work job of removing the uh, punctures in the tires, when he opened the tire and took out the tube, he called Bharucha and asked him, where from you are coming? Bharucha said, I am coming from Surat. And when you felt that this tire is getting flat, and Bharucha said that just when I was very close to your shop, I found that it is getting flat. And that is why I came to you. And he showed that tube and told Bharucha that you are really, God has saved you, because there is a big long cut in that tube, and it could have resulted in a very bad accident. And then what he said, that the whole tube will have to be removed, new tube will have to be replaced. And then it was done accordingly, and Bharucha returned home. Thereafter, after few days or maybe month or so, as usual practice, he used to once in a month he used to go to Guruprasad to pay respects to Baba, and that time also he went to Guruprasad, and while bowing down to Baba, it would be usually the weekends, and when Bharucha went to bow down to Baba, he very softly spoke to himself, thanks Baba, thanks Baba. And then he was going to take a seat, but Baba called him back and said, what, what did you say? What you are saying? You said something? Bharucha said, nothing special, Baba. No, it's nothing special about it. And Baba said, no, just tell me what you had said. And then Bharucha said, I just thanked you, Baba. What for? Then Bharucha narrated the whole story as to how he was saved thrice from a fatal accident. And then Baba made a very profound remark that what I do for you people, if you know that, you will simply say nothing else but thank you, Baba, thank you, Baba, thank you, Baba. You will have to say only that much. If you know what I am doing for you people every moment. This I am repeating the story. I must have said it earlier, but today there had been the last week there had been some discussion about on our mobile chat. Some people said that whenever, for everything that we do in your life, we should thank Baba. If we are successful in getting some job done successfully, then we thank Baba. If something is made possible for us, we thank Baba. The other opinion was Baba never liked him to be thanked. Thanking by the people, Baba didn't approve it. Now the question arises as to whether or not this thanking is should be done. And there were different opinions. Some people say, no, we should thank always. Some people say, no, Baba never expected and never liked him to be thanked. Those who say that we should thank Baba, Their point was that Baba is doing everything for us, and then we should always remain grateful to him. Fine. The other opinion, the other argument by other people was that thanking God is a different thing from thanking Mere Baba. Just listen this point very clearly. Thanking God is different from thanking Meher Baba. This is another problem now. Whom to thank? Whom to thank? And why we should not thank to Baba? And the argument was that a mother who feeds her child, if the child is also grown up, even then the mother gives them time to eat or does something for the child, for the son or girl, whoever may be, they do not thank her. They do not thank the mother. So the position that the mother holds in respect of in respect of the lovers, in respect of her children, the same relation is there in between Meher Baba and his lovers. So there is no need to thank Meher Baba. In fact, it should not be done. Nobody thanks our mother. So we should not ever thank Baba, because understand that everything is being done by Baba, but then as mother would have not liked her children to thank her, same way Baba will not like that his lover should thank him. Now, this discussion put me into a sort of a deep thinking about the whole thing. Now, coming to the incident when Baba said to Dr. Barucha that whatever I do for you people, it is if you know that, then you will have left with nothing, no words than thanking me. You will keep on thanking me every moment, because every moment I am helping you. Now, this conversation, particular time conversation in between Baba and Garucha, we will not, I have heard it from Dr. Barucha, from his own mouth. Now, Baba's statement that what I do for you people, it applies to all the Baba lovers or only Barucha, is one point. Take us that it is applies to all the Baba lovers, because Bharucha is not a very special person in Baba's contact. So all the lovers, they are equally close to Baba. And Baba is equally concerned with everyone's life. So Baba does everything for every one of his lovers. Always. That means what applies to Bharucha, it applies to all the other Baba lovers also. Now, this thought expand, if you expand to the entire world as a God, whatever is available in this creation for us, for a human being, all these trees and all these oceans and rivers and water and air, whatever is there, it is the better living of a human being. That means God is doing everything for us. So we are always thankful to God. We are always grateful to God. But God as Meher Baba is as close to as our mother. We may think God, but we need not. We may thank God, but we not thank Meher Baba, who is just like our mother. This is one thought. Now look at Baba, Baba's own behavior. As we know, if you study Baba's early life, very often Baba used to go in any house of his lovers and pick particular houses, his favorite houses. He will go and ask for food. Now, few incidents are there. One is the mother of Vishnu Master. Her name was Saraswati Bai, and she used to call Baba as Deva. Deva means God. She used to love Baba very much. And her son Vishnu Master has spent his whole life in Meher Baba's service. She wasn't living in Kasba Pet where Baba had started a tawdi shop. And at odd times, Baba would go there and ask that woman, I'm very much hungry, give me something to eat. And that poor lady who had lost her husband long ago, she would be in a very embarrassing position because she would request Baba, just wait for 15 minutes, I'll cook fresh food for you. And the Deva of hers will always be in a hurry. He would say, no, I have to go. I don't have that much of time to wait for 15 minutes and leave it now. I'm going away. And that my woman will feel very sad about it. What to do? But then Baba would ask whether there are any leftovers from the previous night. And very reluctantly, she will say yes. And Baba would say, just serve me that. And very happily, Baba will gulp all that food which was left over. Baba would not thank that lady. Why? Because the relation in between these two is beyond thanking. Another example I would just tell is Sridhar Kelkar's mother-in-law. What is his name? I'm sorry, I'll get name afterward. Now, Sridhar Kelkar's mother-in-law, Sridhar's wife was Parvez, and her mother. She used to love Baba very much. Baba used to love that family. They were special in that whole Baba group. And same thing which used to happen that at very odd time, Baba would just abruptly go there and ask for food, and then she may or may not have food, and Baba would just prepare to go away, and she will be feel bad about it. Thereafter, she made it a point to keep food ready for Baba. Once it so happened that Baba was going to Mehrabad, and for 2 3 days he was not to return back to Nashik. It was in Nashik. Dina Talati. Yes. So she used to prepare food. Abruptly at her place, Baba used to go, and this would happen every time. And she made it a point to keep food ready for Baba every time, day, every day. A Baba's share will be kept separate by her. And when once it so happened that Baba was to go to Mehrabad and was to remain there for 2-3 days, she said that food will be wasted. So didn't cook for Baba for that on that on the first day itself. She didn't cook, and the first day itself, Baba went to Mehrabad and came back to her and for a house and asked for food. And very sadly, she said that Baba, since you are going to Mehrabad, you are not likely to return. I didn't cook food for you. And Baba felt very sad. He was very much displeased. And looking to this displeasure, she started keeping, whether Baba is there or not, she started keeping food every time for Baba. Baba never thanked her. Baba never thanked her because the relation was such. It was beyond thanking. Once it so happened, on somebody else's case, once it so happened that when Baba went there and asked for food, that woman said that, yes, Baba, food is ready. I have cooked food and I will serve it. What Baba asked, how Baba used to bring out some vital points. When that lady said that Baba, food is ready, I will serve you. And what Baba asks is whether you have cooked food for me, whether you have cooked food for me. That is the question Baba puts her. And she just said that no, but it is as usual. I have cooked the food for the whole family. And Baba is not very happy about that answer. Baba is not very happy. Looking to these relations, the question arises as to whether we should thank Baba every time. Now here, whenever we end our program with Aarti and then we say goodbye to each other and we say thanks to Baba. Certain times you thank me for giving this, for singing before you're talking, before you thank me. In turn, I thank you for listening to whatever I say. This is two-way relation between you and me. But at that time, we both feel that we should thank Baba. But even that thanking is necessary now. Very difficult to say. Very different. It depends upon the situation. You see, sometimes, when you are caught up in a grave situation and you are rescued from that situation, you thank Baba because you feel a very strong hand of support of Mer Baba. Now we know that on 2nd December 1956, Baba had met with an accident at Satara near Urtara, near Satara, a place Urtara by name Urtara. And 2006, we had a very 50th year. We had a very, very big program, very 2 days program we had, our Pune center had arranged there. And it was a very grand program. The whole night we were singing and telling stories and then sharing. And thereafter, the next day we were visiting, all places in Satara, Mahabaleshwar, Satara, Panjgani, all the places we had visited that time. And then evening time, when actually at the time of that particular time of accident, it was around 5 o'clock. We gathered there near that accident site. The ladies have put Baba's picture there, big photo. Then the candles were burned there, and we had a prayer there, thanking Baba. Thanking why? Because for the sake of humanity, Baba had shed his blood there on that soil. This was the reason why we had gathered there. We had little singing. We had a talk as to how the accident has happened. And the highlighted point was that exact reason could not be known about that accident. The road was clear. There was no traffic. As per Baba's instruction, the carriage was driving in a very normal speed. And Baba insisting for going slow, going slow, going slow. Unusually, every time Baba was very much saying, Baba would just pinch areas to drive fast, drive fast, drive fast, as he had done in the case of American accident. Elizabeth Patterson was just being pushed by Baba to drive fast. And here also in India, Baba is to be after Eras to drive fast driver. But that particular day, Baba had asked Eras to drive very slowly. We have a lot of time. There is no hurry to reach Satara. He had come to Pune, returning back to Satara. Satara is a city. Evening time. And around 5 o'clock, for no reason, when Erech had explained to me personally, when I asked him how that accident took place, Erech said, Pratap, I also cannot understand how that happened. When we came, we were going to cross the culvert. All of a sudden, there was the shaking of that driving wheel. And the car went out of control. It dashed against that culvert and then fell down. For no reason that accident had happened. Thereafter, in the court of law, when the inquiries were made by the police, and the case was filed in the court of law for this accident because one person had died. And when this whole hearing was over, the judges came to the conclusion that when we examine all these witnesses and all the happenings of the day, we find no reason for that accident to happen. Ultimately, what we have to say is it is an act of God. When we conducted a very large program for 2 days program, and that particular time of accident, we gathered there and have our prayers. That day, in my heart of hearts, I just made a resolve that hereafter people may accompany me or not, but I will come and bow down here in gratitude because you have shed your blood here on the soil for the sake of humanity. Since then, we are expressing that gratitude every year, visiting that place, and the number of visitors is growing day by day, growing every year by year. So these are the occasions when we can thank or we can express our gratitude. But every now and then we should thank you, Baba, thank you, Baba, whether it is necessary. Now, Bharucha was saved thrice, 3 times. And Baba said that what I do for you people, if you know that, you will have to say only thank Baba, thank Baba, thank Baba. Bharucha was saved from that fatal accident. And we generalize this. We generalize saying that Baba saves us from every type of accident, fatal accident. I give an example where it has not so. We cannot generalize Baba's statement. It depends upon Baba's knowledge, all knowledge. What is necessary in a person's life, he knows, and accordingly he grants you life, or he takes that life. I will take next example is the best example is of a person by name Adi. Adi Kotwal. Kotwal was the whole family, Kotwal family had stayed in amongst Baba's Mandali. Kotwal has surrendered himself along with his family. He has given everything to Baba and surrendered to Baba, and Baba had kept him along with the Mandali. And that family was also kept in Mehrabad. Such a family, a boy, the youngest one, Adi, his wife and his young child, very small child in the arms. They were traveling from Mumbai, they came to Pune. They were proceeding to Mehrabad, Mindvale. They were staying in Mumbai afterwards, and they were proceeding to Mehrabad for Baba's darshan. Baba's Samadhi darshan. And what happened is that in Pune, there was little time for the regular state transport buses. And one person holding a station wagon, he was announcing that now come on, we are going to Nagar, and anybody who wants to accompany, they can come with. And to save the time, this family of Hadi, they went and took their seats in that station wagon along with other people. The station wagons are not very large. Some about 10, 12 people may be there. And they all proceed. The drivers all had already said that we are just starting now. Anybody wants to join, just join us. And Hadi thought that it's better that we go early. The bus is yet to bus is still after 1 hour or so. The timing, it is according to timing, it will take 1 hour more. So let us go early, and they occupy the seats in that station wagon. And on the way, the station wagon dashed against a truck carrying loads of sugar cane, full big load of sugar cane. The truck must have gone out of control, but something that actually very bad accident took place. And I think Adi died on the spot. His wife was being taken to the hospital. She died on the way. And that small child in the arms, he was saved. He's a male child. He's still living in Mumbai. He's still living in Mumbai. Now, comparing to Bharucha's incident, there Baba is saved him. We say that Baba is saved him. Here, they were going to Mehrabad for Baba's darshan, Samadhi darshan. And two of them died. How to distinguish in between these two, how to understand these two different incidents. I take one more example. During one of the sahavas, I think 1955 sahavas in Mehrabad, RH was driving Baba from Mehrabad. Along with, there was Baba, there was this one of Baba's Mandali. And on the way, they took one person from that Satta family. And when they came at the turning toward the Mehrabad, I think a cow came right in front of the car, and to save that car, edged to the vehicle aside, and it was narrowly saved. It was going to fall down from the road, but then somehow RH was able to take it on the road back. And then the Godman asked everybody, all those, who has taken my name? When he asked RH, RH said, how I could? Because I was so very worried about controlling the car and bringing it back on the road. So he had found his own excuse. Baba asked the other Mandali, he said, Baba, I'm worried about all the belongings which are needed for you. I always carry that. And I have to take care that whatever you need, I have to collect it and then accompany you. Whenever you want anything, I should be able to give it to you readily. And I'm always worried about that. Kakabariya. And how could I take your name? I didn't take him. That person was from the Satta family. Baba asked him whether you have taken my name. And he said, Baba, since you yourself were in the car, where was the necessity for us to take your name? And Baba had given a very, what should I say, very profound reply. Baba said that you must take my name in such a situation. Not only just within your mind, but loudly. You should take my name loudly. This is another lesson which Baba gives. All the all three places. Now Bharucha's example, the Adi Kotwal's example, and this example. Now exactly what we have to conclude from these all the three incidents. One thing, according to my little understanding, one conclusion is that we should never generalize Baba's actions. They may be different at different situations. Because his knowledge of all past and future, whatever he will do that time will be for the highest benefit of the concerned person. This whatever your master says, never say it is wrong. Because, my dear, it is your incapacity to understand. That is what Hafiz has said. So we can never judge or we can never understand the reason behind Baba's actions in different situations. Out of her curiosity, out of her over enthusiasm, we generalize the actions. If Baba said one, we tell the people that it will be applicable to every one of us. Babas who are in a dire situation, Baba will save him. Baba will save him. This generalization is not very apt. The only point to be understood and to be emphasized in your life is in every such situation, taking Baba's name, and as Baba said loudly, is only a best option for us, leaving all the logical arguments aside. What we need to do is to keep our complete reliance on him and surrender to his decision, whatever decisions he takes about you. This is the sum total of all these arguments which we may have. So, those who say, thanks Baba, they are not wrong. Those who do not say, that are also not wrong. Everyone has his own discretion or own understanding or own reasoning. Let him have. Let him have. Perhaps Baba would adjust himself with the understanding of that particular person. He is such a compassionate father that he will get adjusted to the lover's understanding and demand. Let us take it that way. This is all the argument which recently we had on the group. Of course, I didn't express my opinion, but then I had little discussion with my son, and there are different opinions. Let them have. When we are now supposing I want to go to Mehrabad, but the situation does not allow me to go to Mehrabad, and I get something some such a help that I'm able to go to Hyderabad. I am bound to thank Baba, because when it was just impossibility for me to go to Hyderabad, it has become possible, and I take it to be that it is because of Ahir Baba's grace. So I thank him. I remain grateful to him. So these logical arguments do not help us, do not take us anywhere in such cases. When it concerns to God, everything is possible. Everything is possible. This is the lesson we are required to learn. Now, that is little time. I will just sing one small song, ghazal. Then we have Aarti. After that, if at all you want to say anything, you can say. I just explain that I explain that meaning of the song. It's a beautiful song. Just three stanza, small stanza. I will just first explain that so that there will not be obsession while singing. ना हो गम जो जिंदगी, very, very beautiful meaning. ना हो गम जो जिंदगी में, तो ये जिंदगी नहीं है. If there is no suffering in one's life, a life without suffering, while life without agony, life without sorrow is no life. If there is no suffering in life, it is no life. It is not a life. There is no charm in such a life. That is what the poet says. ना हो गम जिंदगी में, तो ये जिंदगी नहीं है. That is not a life at all. ये वो शम्मा है ऐसी जिसमें रोशनी नहीं. It is such a flame that there is no. It is such a lamp that there is no light in it. A lamp without light. So the life is like that lamp which has no life, no light in it. That is the first two lines. Second stanza is तेरा हर अलम है प्यारा, तेरा हर सितम गवारा. The same thing as we have discussing. Everything that do, every act of yours is dear to me. Every act of yours is dear to me. तेरी आरज़ू से रहे सलामत, मुझे कुछ कमी नहीं. What he says that whether good or bad, whatever you do, I love that. Every act of yours, I love it. My urge for you, my search for you, till the time my urge for you, my search for you is intact, I don't need anything else. My longing for you is enough for me to live that life. It means that above everything, every of my needs and requirements of life and luxuries of life and sorrows of my life, everything, till my longing for you is intact, I don't think anything else. I don't need anything else. तो जुबान दिल ने समझा तो नहीं गिला किस चीज का. When you have not understood understood the cry of my heart. I don't have complaint about it. You do not understand my agony. I don't have complaint about it. What I understand from this, that I feel short of giving that call, of giving that longing, of showing that longing. It is my own shortcoming which causes you not to listen to my call. You understand these things. I hope you understand what I explained. And the last stanza is also beautiful. मेरे हाल जार पर ये जमाना हंस रहा है. All the world is laughing at me, at my state, at my condition. The whole world is laughing at you. It is your grace. It is your grace, not my helplessness. I am in a helpless condition. I am in a helpless condition as the whole world is laughing at me, at my condition. But it is not my helplessness, but it is your grace on me. What a thought that person has said. Now I sing it for you. ना हो गम जो जिंदगी ना हो गम जो जिंदगी में तो ये जिंदगी नहीं है तो ये जिंदगी नहीं है न हो गम जो जिंदगी में न हो गम जो जिंदगी में तो ये जिंदगी नहीं है तो ये जिंदगी नहीं है न हो गम जो जिंदगी में ना हो गम जो जिंदगी में तो ये गम तो ये जिंदगी नहीं है वो शम्मा ऐसी जिसमें है वो शम्मा ऐसी जिसमें कोई रोशनी नहीं है कोई रोशनी नहीं है वो शम्मा ऐसी जिसमें कोई रोशनी नहीं है कोई रोशनी नहीं न हो गम से जिंदगी तेरा हर अलम है प्यारा तेरा गम तेरा हम सितारा तेरा हर अलम है प्यारा तेरा हर सितम गवारा तेरा हर अलम है प्यारा तेरा हर सितम गवारा तेरी ये आरज़ू सलामत तेरी आरज़ू सलामत मुझे कुछ कमी नहीं है तेरी आरज़ू सलामत मुझे कुछ कमी नहीं है तेरी आरज़ू सलामती मुझे कुछ कमी नहीं है मुझे कुछ कमी नहीं तू जुबाने दिल न समझा, तू जुबाने दिल न समझा, तो नहीं गिला मैं किसी का, तो नहीं गिला मैं किसी का, तू जुबाने दिल न समझा, तो नहीं गिला कुछ इसका, तो नहीं गिला कुछ इसका, मेरे इश्क में ही शायद, मेरे इश्क में ही शायद कभी पुख्तगी नहीं है, अभी पुख्तगी नहीं है, मेरे इश्क में ही शायद, मेरे इश्क में ही शायद अभी पुख्तगी नहीं है, अभी पुख्तगी नहीं है, मेरे इश्क में ही शायद तुझवाने दिल न समझा, तुझवाने दिल न समझा, तुझवाने दिल न समझा, तुझवाने दिल न समझा, तो नहीं गिला इसका, तो नहीं गिला कुछ इसका, मेरे हालदार पर ये जमाना हंस रहा है, मेरे हालदार पर ये जमाना हंस रहा है, ये जमाना हंस रहा है, ये जमाना हंस रहा है, ये तेरा करम है जालिम, ये तेरा करम है जालिम, मेरी पुख्त मेरी बेबसी नहीं है, मेरी बेबसी नहीं है, ये तेरा करम है जालिम, मेरी बेबसी नहीं है, मेरी बेबसी नहीं है, न हो मुझे जिंदगी में, तो ये जिंदगी नहीं है, तो ये जिंदगी नहीं है। जय बाबा। Now we take Aarti. Which Aarti you would like to have today?
Adi Sachetana.
Which one?
Adi Sachetana.
Adi Sachetan. Oh, yes. लहर से जिसकी सृष्टि का उसकी कैसे हो अनुमान, आदि चेतन शांति निकेतन, आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन, नमो आरती अपनाओ मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनाओ मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनाओ प्रेम दीप में ये जलाओ प्रेम दीप में ये जलाओ निबिड़ अंधेरा मिटता पाऊं निबिड़ अंधेरा मिटता पाऊं अपना सब कुछ तुम्हें चढ़ाऊं अपना सब कुछ तुम्हें चढ़ाऊं तुम मुझको सिरकाओ मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनाओ मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनाओ जीवन की हर सांस हमारी जीवन की हर सांस हमारी बन जाए प्रभु गति तुम्हारी बन जाए प्रभु गति तुम्हारी हे करुणा कर लीना धारी हे करुणा कर लीना धारी तुम करुणा बरसाओ मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनाओ मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनाओ बने आरती जीवन मेरा बने आरती जीवन मेरा आदि अंत का लय हो घेरा आदि अंत का लय हो घेरा फूले नयन और दिखे सवेरा फूले नयन और दिखे सवेरा तुम मुझ में छा जाओ मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनाओ मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनाओ आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन नमो ब्रह्म आओ मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनाओ मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनाओ मेरे प्रभु आरती अपनाओ अवतार वीर बाबा की जय जय बाबा all of you any query any question
Thank you.
anything you have to say please say it
I like your talk today.
thank you
I like your
thank
talk
you.
very
Thank
much.
you.
Your
Thank
talks,
you.
your
It's very
stories.
touching stories, very touching, heart-touching stories are there. Thank you so much.
Yes, they were very moving, very heart touching, and very
Ah,
helpful as I begin the day. Thank you.
yes.
Sweet to hear of the ladies who kept the food. sometimes Baba give Baba leftovers, or it's very intimate that they give food
Yes,
ready for
yes,
Baba.
yes, yes, yes.
I missed the boat, Pratap. Which lady were you? Was that? Was that um, the people who had the wreck? Was that? Was she? That the lady? The Adi, and
Yes,
they had
yes,
two daughters
yes,
and the son.
yes, yes, yes,
Um,
yes.
Vishnu's mother had the same story of cooking for Baba,
Mm,
and
yes,
he wanted her to always have food fresh for him. It must have been a
yes,
chat. I mean, very difficult. He didn't
yes,
always come.
yes. Ultimately, it comes to leaving everything to his will. So,
Mothers, like mothers, many mothers, Baba's mummies, keeping food for their for their sweet story.
yes. So, we, anybody else, or then treatise Bear Baba ki jai.
Okay. Avatar, Meher Baba,
Baba
Ki
ki
DJ.
jai.
Avatar,
Meher
Har
Baba
Meher
Ki
Baba
Jai.
ki jai.
Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Baba,
Jai.
Meher Baba ki
Baba ki jai.
Ki Jai.
jai. Baba, Jai Baba. Thank you, Baba.